Well, all right. It is Monday, March 25. It is 9:20 in the morning here on the West Coast Pacific Standard Time, and just a 1-0 day today. Not very exciting. I did take the trade on PA2, which is great. Made $92 on the trade, and I am now at the highest balance this account has been at yet, 52,213 some change. And so that means I'm within $400 of qualifying for a payout. As you can see, I've traded for 35 days already. So trading days is not an issue. It's just a matter of getting to that target. I've been above 52,000 on 3 different occasions on this particular account. And now this is the highest balance I've had it at. So it should only take 2, maybe 3 more trades at worst case scenario, I think, to get there. So if I could just string together 2 or 3 more wins in a row on that account, I will finally get to my first ever payout on Apex. Will I do it? Can I get there? This is now getting close to probably the 4th, I think the 4th or 5th time where I've been this close to a payout. I mean, I literally was at least 3 other times within 1 trade on some other PA accounts that I used to have. As you can see, my current PA accounts are 2, 6, and 7, which means I did blow up account 1, 3, 4, and 5. So on some of those other accounts that are currently blown up, I was within 1 single trade previously of getting a payout. And then I don't know what happened. I hit a wall and everything went against me. And I never got there. I never got there last year. And by the end of the year, I blew up all my accounts. But that was all trading a different strategy. Now I only trade the NQ, whereas before, when all that happened, I was trading the ES. And for anyone that's been following my journey, I am trading second entries, and I trade off multiple tick charts on the NQ. And I look for charts where every second entry works for my profit target. And when I find the charts that are working in that way, I will trade off of those charts when I start my session. And I like to try to find 3 or 4 charts that have all winning entries for my profit target. And then I'll trade off of any of those charts as the setups happen. So today was an interesting day. Let me get this stuff off my screen and we'll talk about the chart and the trades. All right, so today was an interesting day. I started right at around the 7 o'clock area, 10 o'clock East Coast, which is the time I'm trading every day, live streaming. And you could see it was going very sideways when I started, and then it had a strong move up. And let's see, this when I had made the measured move, a second entry short formed right off of the measured move, as you can see here. And this was a trade that I'm supposed to take according to my system, because I have a chart that has all winning entries for every second entry. And this was a second entry, and it was not violating any current rules that I have. But I just, for whatever reason, I just felt hesitant, even though I did have 2 clear legs up right to the measured move. That should be an area where I feel confident to take a short. But because I had a sense of I felt like the market was going to try to close the gap at the previous day close, which is this blue line, which I changed the color of this over the weekend so that you can see it better on YouTube. So I just really thought maybe it was going to trap shorts and then go on and get there. And now you can see it hasn't done that. And not only did it not do that, that was at around 7:20 in the morning, 7:24. Not only did it not do that, but it's tried multiple times since, and it still hasn't done it all the way here at 9:30, 2 hours later. So, just kind of an interesting situation. I don't know why, but I felt hesitant to take it, even though it made sense to take it and it fit my system to take it. But I skipped this one. And then there was another, I don't remember exactly which chart I was looking at. There was another chart that set up another trade somewhere. Well, I think also the second entry happened on multiple charts. So I could have taken it on this chart if I missed it here, I could have taken on a different chart, and I just skipped them all in that case. Moving on, there was an interesting thing that happened on another chart here. I believe it was, let me see. Let me look real quick, 1 second. Here we go. So this is now looking at a different chart, different tick size, still NQ. There was another trade that I skipped. There was a new high. There's a first entry long, and then above this bar, right off the EMA, was a second entry long. This went 2 ticks. So this went 2 ticks above the signal bar. So that's a second entry long. I chose to skip it. The reason I chose to skip it in this case was because there was a clear, strong one leg down. And where this set up, it didn't look like a second leg. It just looked like one leg down and sideways. And so I've noticed I've taken some trades recently and over the course of the past 3 months on NQ where a setup like this happens, where the measured move was already reached, and then it gives you a second entry long off of the EMA, and yet it doesn't work. And what I've noticed is just because visually it doesn't look like 2 legs, it just looks like one leg and sideways, that I just decided, you know what, I just didn't like it. I didn't like the way it looked. And so I decided to skip it, and it saved me from a loss right here. So then, my theory was that it needed to go down further. So then I went back to this chart when a second entry was forming here. Let's see. So now you see a first entry. Now it looks like 2 legs, right? I mean, even though it didn't even make the measured move still, like I can see visually what looks like a leg down and a leg down, not just sideways. So even though it didn't hit the measured move, I figured, okay, this one's off the EMA, and I'm still thinking ultimately that it was going to go and close the gap of the previous day close. And so I took this long. This was my first trade of the day, and good signal bar right off the EMA. It was above, with the previous day low. So I was figuring that's kind of like a level of support. And when I took the trade, I was really confident and thought that, this is a no-brainer going to work. And, let's see, I was entered at $12.50, and it went to $15.75. So it actually went, far enough for my scalp if I was just using my target, my profit target at the 11 ticks that I scalp for. But lately what I've been doing is using an auto stop where I go for more ticks. So my auto stop will move up and lock in profit once price goes a little bit further than my 11 ticks that I like to get. So this almost was a case where, because I was going for more ticks, I'm trying to capture more ticks with my auto stop ATM. This thing went far enough to get a scalp, but not far enough to lock in the profit on my auto stop. And then it started to, as the bar was coming to a close, started to work down. And when this next bar ticked below this red bar, I thought for sure I was a goner. I thought that was going to be a loss 100%. And it went within 1 tick. Literally the bottom of this bar is $4.99, and the bottom of this bar is also $4.99. So my stop was $98.75. So it came within 1 tick of stopping me out before it turned, and like miraculously, like I was so certain that this was going to be a loss, and at the bottom of this bar, I was down $600 on the trade. So if you go and watch my live stream, go back to when this trade happened, just skip to it. You'll see it came within 1 tick. I was confident I was picking up a loss, and then this thing just started moving back up. And when it was about to close up here, I was like, wow, am I really going to get saved here? And then it was like struggling to get high enough to enable my auto stop to move up. And so what I do is I always have a profit target limit order on my ATM strategy. And so I actually decided to, for the first time since I've traded this way, I decided to take that and move it down. And I moved it down to lock in 10 ticks of profit. So typically I'll just either let it work or not work, but just because I came so close to losing, in this case, I was down $600 on the trade during the trade at the worst point. And then when I got to be up, $100 before commissions and $92 after commission, it started actually kind of going back down a little bit. I was like, all right, I don't want to reject from like the same point of the top of this candle and not give me my scalp. So I decided to take my limit order and move it and lock in the 10 ticks. And even though I could have potentially gotten more, I was happy to just get the win. It was like, it was like getting a $700 swing in that trade, from the minus 600 at the lowest to capturing the $92. So trust me, after that, if I started my day feeling hesitant to take a counter trend trade, I was even more hesitant after this trade. And you can see there was a lot of sideways, just sideways all through this, after that trade, sideways through that, and sideways through this, and so I really just was hesitant to do anything in here. There was another setup. Let me see. From this low, there's a first entry, second entry below this green bar, which obviously I wasn't interested in taking counter trend there, as well as a new low here and a first entry here and a second entry below this red bar, which would have worked out. But again, my bias was still saying, I think we're going to close the gap of the day. So I stayed out of anything else that came up on this chart or any of my other charts, and just decided, you know what? I'm happy to walk away with a 1-0 day, considering how close it was to taking a loss. It would have been really disappointing to take a loss on this account after the third time of getting it above the 52,000 kind of 100 area. And so, today I feel like I'm escaping unscathed by just the slightest margin. And so today was a lucky day for me, and I'll take the $92 and run away and be happy with it. So let's see, let's get the stuff on the screen here. So yeah, having said all that, I feel good about the day. I'm one step closer to my goal, within $400 of qualifying for a payout, and that's my number one priority right now. And then secondarily, my priority will be to build up these accounts, which are basically starting balance and slightly under starting balance. I've got good drawdown on both of them, so I should be fine. I'll be able to withstand even one more loss on each account if it happens, but hopefully that won't happen. Hopefully I could go on a nice little win streak and get these to a payout qualifying or near payout qualifying balance as well. And then still very close to passing this evaluation. This evaluation, $640 away, as well as this evaluation. I'm just $63 away. So very close to picking up a couple new PAs. And then I've got a couple new evaluations. They're old evaluations I had blown up previously, this one and this one. This one renewed and reset last Friday, and this one renewed and reset today. So I've got a couple new evaluations to work on from the start. And what else can I say? Will I get to my first ever payout on Apex? Join me. Like and subscribe if you're interested to see how it works out. I'm hoping I can get to my first one and then start getting the ball rolling on additional ones. I am officially at $2,050 for my fees on Apex. So one $2,000 payout gets me to basically break even, slightly red, but I'll take that as a starting point. And I've only been trading NQ in this system since the beginning of the year. So all of my progress on all of these accounts is really just based on this system alone and what I've been doing here on YouTube every day since the beginning of the year. And just another interesting point, before today's trade, I went and looked and just added up what my profits are across all of these accounts, just because I never really think about that or consider what that is. And I was up $8,840 on all these accounts combined. And that's including subtracting the amounts that I'm down from my two other PAs. And so, I didn't really realize I was up that much overall. And then if you take into account the fact that I passed an evaluation for this and for this year, that's another $1,500 profit for each account that I was up. So that makes it $11,840 that I was up across all of my current accounts. Now, that's also not taking into consideration I did blow up this account and I did blow up this account during that time. So that's another $3,000 of losses, which takes me back down to the $8,840 anyway. But anyway, I think it's just interesting to think about that because in 3 months, I'm up $8,840 overall, basically, right? And I think legitimately saying that. And I'm just playing small ball. I'm just going for base hits. There's days where I'm just getting $92 and calling it a day. And I'm still up that much. So I think that's just kind of like something interesting to think about and keep in mind for myself. Because sometimes, I look at other streamers on YouTube and, they're going for these astronomical numbers. And, it's easy to like want to do that and want to like push and just go bigger and trade outside of myself. But I'm still, I got to keep in mind the positives. And so for me to be up almost $9,000 in 3 months is great. Like that's really showing that the system is working for me. The fact that I did acquire 2 PAs with the system inside of 3 months is showing that things are working for me, as well as all of my profit on the PA2 that I'm this close to a payout is all the strategy trading on NQ all this year. So it's really, it's just really, my dog's trying to get, let me in real quick. So it's just really something that's like, is giving me a positive feeling about the way things are going. And I just know, I can feel it, that I'm on the right track. And I feel like I am going to get this payout. It's just a matter of time, right? And hopefully it happens sooner than later. The end of this week is actually my 1-year anniversary trading on Apex. Now, the bulk of my trading on Apex was with different strategies and on ES and not NQ. So I'm not really taking it in a negative way that I haven't gotten a payout in a single year. I'm actually, if I can pull off getting this payout, it would be great timing to qualify for it by the end of this week or maybe sometime next week. And if I can pull that off, I'll feel really great because it just shows that I made the right decision to switch to the system and the system is working. And I've been going slow and doing baby steps and just getting base hits, but it is going to get me to my goal. I really believe it. And so if that can line up with the 1-year anniversary, that would be really cool. And then to just know for myself that I really made it happen in 3 months is also really cool. And, not to discount what I did last year previously on my other system, because I actually did get my very first PA within the first, I think 3 evaluations that I tried. And I started in April, essentially, the beginning of April. It was like the last day of March or something, the beginning of April. And I got my first PA, I believe, in the beginning of June, if I remember correctly. So it wasn't like I didn't have any success before, but I just really feel like now I have all the things in place to really start being really consistent. And my stats are showing it, by the way. You can see over here, 150 wins and 34 losses, 82% for the year 2024. All of these trades have been shown on YouTube, and you can go back and track all of these trades. They are all still on my channel. And not only the fact that I'm 82%, but the fact that I have 150 wins inside of 3 months is astronomical for me, for a guy that was getting, 2 or 3 trades a week for 2 or 3 years on average. And now I have 184 trades inside of 3 months. Very well likely could have 200 trades by the time this week is over, or very close to it. So win rate wise, things are working for me. Volume of trades wise, the system is working for me. And so yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm feeling very positive. I know any day losses will and can come, or can and will come. But that's why I'm trading my accounts the way I'm trading them. I take a trade and I move on to the next account. I take a trade, I move on to the next account. And in that way, the theory is the bulk of my accounts will be getting profits for the day. Maybe one or two accounts will get a loss on any given day. But the bulk of my accounts should be progressing on a day-to-day basis, depending on how many trades I take. Again, only one trade today, so didn't get to put that into effect today. Anyway, I think I've said it all. Check out my live stream between 10 and 12:30 Eastern. Like and subscribe and see if I can get to a payout. I'm just a regular guy trying to figure out how to find some success, trading a new way, trading on a new instrument for myself. And let's see if I can get there. Appreciate everyone that comes and checks out my videos. Appreciate it if you do like and subscribe. And for anyone that is out there using my code, I really appreciate that as well. I noticed that I think someone picked up a couple accounts using my code yesterday, and I think it was yesterday or the day before. And so I really appreciate that. That's a huge help to me. And otherwise, I'll be back at it tomorrow. Hope you had a good trading day, and I'm sure I've said it all. All right, see you tomorrow.